Hello, this is Survival-gyver, and today we're taking a look back at an older pair of videos. These are the Nitecore Tini 2 and the Tip SE mini flashlights. They're both a dual beam flashlight. This one is 500 lumens for the Tini 2, and the Tip SE is 700 lumens. That's both when they're on turbo mode. Turbo mode only lasts for a couple of seconds, for just something that's bright. Well, turbo mode on this can last up to 15 minutes. This one it's quite a bit less because it's got less than half the battery power. So it's not for a very long time. I typically don't use turbo mode on anything. I do use their low modes, which are both 1 lumens, for reading a book or something of that nature. Or finding a map when my navigation just sends me to the middle of the woods for some random reason. So either way. So 500 lumens for the Tini 2. I'm going to take a look at that one first. And then we're going to take a look at, if I can get it to focus, on the Tip SE. And then I'm going to show you pros and cons towards the end of the video, just as a fair comparison between them. This is the only comparison video I've done on these. I've done individuals, but not a comparison. So a lot of people have asked. Here's what we got. Okay. So I'm going to take this one off. That's this side here. So the Tini 2 is literally, it's really tiny. Let's see if I have a ruler here. So it's about 1 3/4 inches in length, about 1 inch in width, and I don't know if I can even do that. Let's see. Thickness is about a 1/2 inch thick. So that's not so bad, right? It has 2 buttons on it, a power button and a mode button. And it has a screen that tells you what mode you're in, if you're on daily or demo, if you're what lumen you're at, what your battery level's at as well. So that's kind of cool. So this is 500 lumens, 2000 candela. Max runtime is 50 hours. All right. Weighs a hefty, really heavy 0.66 ounces or 18.8 grams. Not really heavy. It's crazy light. I forget I have this in my pocket. It does have a stainless steel ring on the back that you can actually access with the screws on both sides, because that's what actually holds it in. And that'll hold 66 pounds. So that's pretty cool. At least it's like an over engineered piece of steel. All right. So let's see here. Let me turn it on. It's going to be on low mode to begin with. Daily one. So we got level 1 daily, because there's a daily mode and a demo mode. Daily mode is the light will stay on until I decide to turn it off. Demo mode will keep the light on for 30 seconds and then automatically turn it off. That is to prevent you from draining the battery too quickly, which is not a bad deal. Let me turn this back on. So this is the 1 lumen level at the moment. 59:42. That's 59 hours and 42 minutes. So it's not a full charge at the moment because I've been using it. Let's see what else would be important here. So we've got low. Let me go through the. I don't remember them all off the top of my head, so let me look them up real quick. Sorry, it's been a few months since I've gone through it. It's a 280 milliamp hour battery, lithium-ion battery. It is chargeable. It is a Type-C charger port right behind that. Let me turn this off so I don't waste any more battery off it. It has a direct access turbo, which is in any status, press and hold the mode button to access turbo. So that's 500 lumens. Probably doesn't show really well on the camera here. Let me turn off some of the extra lights. So without my side light, without my camera flashlight on. That's the 500 lumen turbo mode. I should say, there we go, turbo mode, 500 lumens, lasts about 15 minutes. So you have that. Let me turn the top light back on so at least we can see this a little better. There's an ultra low mode, which is the one I first started with, which is 1 lumen. So like really short range to help protect with your scotopic vision, so like night vision. You have a, let's see if I can do this. I'm going to have to turn this top light off again, sorry. So right now it's on low mode. Hit the button up once. Here we go. Level 2, come on, focus. 7 hours and 42 minutes. This is 15 lumens. Level 3 for 2 hours and 25 minutes. So level 3 is medium, that's 65 lumens. This is high beam for 200 lumens. It lasts about 44 minutes. And if you press and hold again, you get turbo mode for 15 minutes. And you can actually feel the heat coming off my hand. So it's kind of cool how it shows everything. And I don't know how blurry it actually is, but it does show blurry up on my camera here. And then one click off to turn it off. Alright. So it has an overprotection, an overcharge protection, over discharge protection, short circuit protection. And you can actually, while this is plugged in, you can use it. So when you're charging it, it's a Type-C connector. You can have it plugged in charging and using it at the same time. So if you had one of, they have a stiff neck connector, which you could use for like a night light. So you could run it off a battery pack, and it'll automatically hold it in place by the charge port, so you can flex into whatever position you need. I don't have one to show you. I'm sorry. I don't remember that available when I got this, so my apologies on that. But that's about it on this, right? Yeah, they have it's called a USB-C charging stand. If you want to turn it into a reading lamp. I don't have one to show you. Sorry. It's aluminum alloy construction. It feels like plastic, but it is. Well, there's some aluminum in there. Unless it's just the hard anodized coating that they put on it. Comes in 2 colors. This comes in a gray, which I have on both models here, or they have a black. Right. It has an IP54 weather rating and a 1 meter impact resistance. And that's about it on this one. So a whole bunch of cool little settings. I'm not going to go into demo and between demo and daily, because I can't tell you the amount of times I've struggled with it. That's not necessarily the flashlight's fault, it's my fault. So that's it on that one. I'm going to bring this one back into view. Now this is the Tip SE. So a little bit different. If this one doesn't have a screen on it. Hold down for just one moment. Alright, well, sorry for that little pause. I just got a warning that my phone went from 60% to 5% battery power. So that's wonderful, because I'm recording on the phone here. So now I'll show you the Tip SE. I'm going to take the Tiny 2 out of the frame for a moment, and we're going to take a look at this one. First thing you'll notice is it's a little bit larger and doesn't have a screen on it. So let's see what the size on this is. Drop the friggin' ruler. So let me grab this here. I'm gonna put the power bank on the desk here. I dropped the ruler. All right, so this sits in at, well, let me get out centimeters, because this is the United States, and we put everything in freedom units. So this is about 2¼ inches long, still 1 inch wide, and the thickness is still 1/2 inch thick. So it's a little bit longer. This has it's got a 700 lumens is what its turbo mode is. Works the same way as the other one. It's a long hold, and there it is. 700 lumens. We're at 2100 candela, if I did my math right. Drawing a blank. This has got a 500 milliamp hour lithium ion battery. It's good for 50 hours. This actually glows when you charge this one. It glows red when it's charging, green when it's fully charged. I didn't bring it up on the Tiny 2. It just stays blinking blue when it's charging and solid blue when it's done charging. So for the Tipsy, or Tip SE, it has an ultra low parasitic drain. So as long as you don't use it, it should last a year, about 365 days. That's not bad. It has a power indication. You can, when the light is off, you can short press the mode button, which is this top one, and it gives you blinking lights. 3 flashes, like that, indicates that the power is above 50%. If it had 2 flashes, it's below 50%, and if it flashes once, it's below 10%. I didn't know that. I only did that doing a little bit of research recently. I don't remember reading in the instructions when I first got it. So that's kind of cool. You still have the same power button, mode button, just like the other one. This also has the demo mode and daily mode. So demo mode, again, will automatically shut down in 30 seconds, and daily mode will stay on until you turn it off. This one's got 4 levels of brightness. Let's see. Oh, would it help if I started on the right one? 1 lumen, 30 lumens, which is mid, 180 lumens for high, and if you hold the button, turbo mode at 700 lumens. And of course, my lovely camera doesn't want to show that. All right, so you have momentary direct access to turbo, of course, which is just hitting button for a couple of seconds. There we go. Usually the mode button, and the first time I hit the power button, so I screwed that one up. It has a detachable pocket clip. This little plastic clip on the back. You can actually, well, let's take a look at that. So you have this nice little plastic clip on the back. I'd prefer a metal one, but this actually has a couple of features, or functions, I should say, for it. One, where's the charge port? Oh, that's right. If I move this down to the next spot, there's the charge port. Now, I wouldn't consider that waterproof. Probably water resistant as long as the cover is on it. And it does look like there is a seal on the inside, but yeah, I'd be a little iffy on that. And you can pull the clip off in its entirety. See some serial numbers on it. This is the whole clip. It's kind of like an opaque grayish black, but no actual seal in it. You can put it this way to block accidental access to the switches. See, because that's the other side. So if you're throwing it in a bag or something, that might be an idea for you. But doing so also has an interesting other effect. And it might be fine if you're in turbo mode. So you can still charge if you brought it to brought it past the first section here. See there, you can't do it. If you go past, you can access it. But I found a neat little accidental function. There it is. Now you have turbo. It automatically locks turbo on. It's just holding down the mode button until it dies. So that can be both a pro and a con depending on how you use it. You can see it's holding the button down. If I can block the light from that. So you can accidentally keep the light on permanently. Well, at least until the battery dies. All right. So now I'm going to put this back on the back side and drop it. Whoops. I'll put it back in its original position. There we go. So you do have this little clip, and it's an okay clip, it works. And you have a stainless steel double ring on the back, which is also good, just like the Tiny 2, to hold 66 pounds. I do believe they do come with key rings, which I've probably lost or used on something else. But yeah, so it'll hold all that good stuff. Right. Still says it's all weather applicable to IP54 rating, 1 meter impact resistant. So if you throw it from on the ground from a meter or drop it from a meter, it should be okay. Maybe a little bit of cosmetic damage. That's about it. So turbo mode was 700 lumens, high was 180 lumens, mid or medium is 30 lumens, and low is 1 lumen. So turbo will last about 15 minutes, approximately, depending on how charged the battery is, of course. It's always important there. High beam is good for about 1 hour and 30. Mid, at 30 lumens, is good for about 8 hours, and low is good for about 50 hours. So, yeah, I'm reading the package contents. It does have 2 key rings and a key clasp. So, yeah, it's in there. I probably just lost them. But that's it on that. So, what is the pros and cons? Well, obviously size. Size is a big one here. They both have pretty much the same options. Ultra low, low, medium, high turbo. Well, this one has 5 settings, this one has 4. The big one is brighter though and has a longer battery life. The Tipsy would be really cool if it had the screen on it like the Tiny 2 did, instead of having to figure out, where the battery range is on this. I'm making sure I turn that off. The key ring is fine. This one's also fine. I'd be happy if this one had a belt clip on it, or if this one had a metal belt clip instead of plastic. This one, of course, has the sealed cover, while this one does not. It's just a piece of plastic over it. It's still supposed to be sealed on the inside, but I don't know. I would probably feel better if it was a cover like this and then this clip on top. Otherwise, the front end is the same size, width-wise, the same width, same thickness, just one is longer. So, other than the clip, I can get this to focus better. The clip and the charge port on this one is a downside for me on it. This one, I don't really have a downside to it at all. The instructions that come with the Tiny 2 are not particularly clear. If you check their website, it's a lot easier to figure out what's going on, especially trying to get it out of demo mode, because I struggled with that for the longest time. But otherwise, they are great mini EDC lights. So keychain lights, throw them if your backpack has a little, like a little carabiner clip and loop. So if you're trying to get into something or see something, you could just leave it on that. So you can see what's going on inside your backpack. Leave it right in the tray in your car if you need a small little light. Chargeable with a Type-C, like all Android phones. Well, all modern Android phones. I have some phones that are way older that don't have that. I have some that have micro ports and USB-A ports. So they both come in the option of black. This one has the chrome buttons. That one comes with the rubberized black buttons. I do like this where those buttons are just slightly above the edge, so you can feel them without accidentally hitting them. You know, it's harder to turn those on. While these stick outright, so these are easy. Like if you have problems finding things in the dark, and these are rubber, and although they have symbols written on them, you can't feel it with your finger. Maybe your nail, you can tell that way maybe, but I mean they stick out past the clip, so there's a higher chance of you leaving this on by accident, so you may want to leave this one in demo mode. And this one is harder to accidentally hit the buttons because they are, for the most part, at the same level, if not just a tad higher than the outside of the case, so they're a little bit harder to reach. There you go. There's a voltage rating in it. I knew there was a way to do it. I could never remember. This one has a lot of neat little functions that I don't remember how to do all the time. So if you don't mind reading the manual and memorizing it, then that would be the way to go. If you just want something simple and easy to use, you stick with that one. That's about what it is. Obviously, the tip SE is 700 lumens, so you have 200 lumens more. And that's negligible because they both last about the same amount of time. That's 500. Yep, I guess that's it. I don't see anything else that needs to be reviewed on these. Yeah, they just have lithium-ion batteries inside that are not replaceable. I don't know if that's a serial number or a model number. This one has it too. Yeah, that one I don't know. So I'm not sure what the numbers mean on that case. Other than that, that's it. They're about equal. Obviously one's a little bit bigger, but it's more powerful and easier to use than the smaller one. But I kind of wish that this one had a screen on that one, just to make it easier to figure out what mode you're in and what the battery power is. The blinking lights work fine, but I would have preferred like 4 blinking lights for full power, 3 for 75%, 2 for 50%, 1 for 25% or less. Make more sense, but this is not the only item they have that only has 3 lights to figure out what the charging amount is. So I guess that is what it is. That's it. So thank you for watching. Any questions or comments, leave them below and I will answer them as soon as I can. I'm sure I missed a whole bunch of stuff on this because I think I did the reviews on this over a year ago. I think I'm at like 300 some odd videos, so I can't remember. I will leave links in the description to where you can find them on Amazon. And that's it. So thank you for watching and have a glorious night.